Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Holt from Exodus and formerly from Slayer, and you're listening to The Razor's Edge.
This is Chris from The Razor's Edge. I'm still here at ArcTanGent, and I'm chatting with the awesome Hidden Mothers. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. How are you doing?
Yeah, really good.
Oh, good, yeah. We enjoyed our set yesterday, and now just enjoying some banter.
Just vibing now.
Cool. do you want to introduce yourselves as well?
Yeah, I'm Liam. I play bass and do shouty bits in Hidden Mothers.
I'm Luke. I play guitar and sing in Hidden Mothers.
Amazing, thank you so much. So, you guys did your set yesterday during the Wednesday pre-weekend jamboree thing. Yep. Second band of the weekend. How did it feel for you guys?
Amazing. Like, you know, because of the slot we were in, we weren't really sure, like, are people still going to be like setting their camps up and still arriving, and we thought even if the tent's half full, it's still pretty cool. But it was pretty rammed, and we played well, and people seemed to enjoy it, and yeah, really happy.
Yeah, it was turnout was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a really, really cool show. I liked it a lot. Frantically putting my tent up so I could go catch you guys set, basically. I had a look at your socials. I love the retrospective pics that you put up, like the shows that you've done, that kind of thing. Oh, yeah. You guys seem to gig as often as you possibly can. The only thing that slowed you down was 2020 for something that we won't disclose. But how does an intimate show, like in the city, compare to like a big festival stage like this?
They're all pretty cool. Like they have different pros and cons. Like sometimes at a bigger show, it's hard to get a real atmosphere going, and we're quite we rely heavily on being able to get an atmosphere going. So in a small, stuffy room, that's a lot more straightforward. At the same time, it's nice to not be on top of each other.
I mean, I like them both for different reasons. Like we some of our best shows have been tiny little stuffy venues.
Like that one in Lincoln.
The one in Lincoln.
Where only Adam the drummer could fit on the stage, and the rest of us were just on the floor.
But that was one of my favourite shows.
It was amazing, yeah. It was in like a gaming cafe, and we played like Mario Kart before the show and everything.
Amazing.
It was wicked. But then, you know, we come here and play to 1,000 people in the afternoon, and it's just as wonderful for a totally different vibe.
Yeah, for sure. This might seem like a very specific question, but my band we've done a lot of like small intimate shows, and then we did one big stage, and it was like, my bandmates are nowhere near me. This is really weird. Do you empathise with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I had to kick you on stage yesterday.
Did you?
Well, because I was trying to tell you to tell Ari to do something,
and he was too far away.
I have a big long cable, but still not long enough to get to the other side of the stage. So I had to kick you because that was as long as I could make my body.
I don't even remember that. I was clearly in like.
Yeah, it was just before we played.
Right. Okay.
I was trying to tell Ari that we need something else in the monitors.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, it's weird because normally what you're kicking me to tell me is to budge up a bit.
Yeah, we generally are. But because 4-piece, all on top of each other.
Yeah, we've all got big pedal boards, and like we're all like, and you need to budge up a bit because I'm going to stand on your tuner or whatever. And yeah, it's nice to not have that problem for sure.
Yeah, but have you done many festivals before ArcTanGent?
Only like obviously we did ArcTanGent last year, and then we did Portals earlier this year. We've done a couple of things that call themselves festivals, but obviously, you know, they're more like all-dayers, and certainly nothing with the production level that this has, apart from Portals really is the only thing that's kind of come close. And it's really nice to kind of be at that point where we are playing those slightly bigger venues, and we can concentrate on the performance a little bit more instead of being like, oh shit, am I going to bump into Luke or smack him around the head with my guitar or whatever. So yeah, it is nice.
It's also just nice because more people get to hear your music.
Well, yeah, and that.
Because that is ultimately what you want to do, don't you? You want to get your music out to as many people as possible.
Absolutely, yeah. As much as it is still nice to, you know, play to 60 people who every single person in the room is well up for it, rather than 1,000 people where the front couple of hundred are well into it and everyone else is just kind of there. Not that we've had that experience, but like I think that the small shows, you kind of get the dedicated moshers.
Although nobody knows our music because we still haven't released any new tracks besides one. So.
One track in the set that anyone knows. Yeah, it's not so easy.
Oh, brilliant! So you say it's your second ArcTanGent. I've never actually been to ArcTanGent before, so. What's the vibe like? What do you like about ArcTanGent? Why is it different to other festivals?
I mean, when was your first ArcTanGent? Mine was 2016.
2017. Yeah.
It's grown so much in size. And I mean, in comparison to other festivals, I don't know. I don't know what it is about it that I like so much. I mean, I always feel like with a lot of festivals, I'll look down the lineup and I'll think, I like that band. I'm not really that fussed about that band. Whereas I feel like with ArcTanGent, it's always so many bands I've never heard of, and then I listen to them and I'm like, oh wow, it feels more curated than a lot of other festivals, rather than here are 30 popular bands, you probably like 10 of them.
I think it's probably the most consistent festival in terms of there's nothing on that I know in this particular window, but I bet if I stick my head in a tent, I'll see something fucking cool.
Well, yeah, that's yeah.
Like, and something different as well. Like, because there's a lot of bands that play ArcTanGent that you know, I maybe wouldn't listen to just sort of day to day in my car or whatever. Like, you know, I know Clowncore pulls out, but like, I don't enjoy Clowncore, but I was very excited to see them because I just thought that'd be such an interesting, cool thing. It's just two clowns playing jazz in a Portaloo.
Yeah, like you know,
it was a big loss, I will say.
You wouldn't get that fucking Bloodstock, would you?
Well, I don't know, maybe
Bloodstock, but definitely not Leeds Fest.
But that's the thing, because like, I feel like a lot of festivals they book so many popular bands, whereas I just feel like ArcTanGent, it just feels more curated.
Definitely, and
it's not based on bands' popularity. It's just about how they fit the festival.
They seem more willing to take risks as well, I think.
Well, we were at risk, and they
yeah.
I mean, we had fucking 3 songs out, and they allowed us to play.
Absolutely, and they booked the stuff that, like, I don't know if Download would have booked High Lung if ArcTanGent hadn't booked them first and proved that there was an appetite for that sort of crowd and like a metal audience. So yeah, I think ArcTanGent is a bit of a trendsetter.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Cool. So let's talk about your music. So, how would you describe your music to a new listener? Let's do the elevator pitch.
Metallic emo was the conversation.
That's literally what I call it, and like that's not even jokingly. No, I think it's a pretty straight up, like, because I mean in the past we were obviously there was always people always said things like post black metal, which never really suited us anyway because we were always a little bit.
Yeah, I mean obviously our early. Off wasp.
I've had about 3 interviews this weekend and we fought with a wasp halfway through.
It's the only downside of the weather being a bit nicer than normal.
I think we found our identity a bit more with this record.
Definitely. We definitely set out initially to be a post-black metal band. You know, the bands we were talking about in our initial conversations were Death Heaven, Alcest, Oathbreaker. And that's all still in there, but it's, you know, we've diluted it with some other stuff, and I definitely think we've found a little pocket that's all our own now instead of just trying to emulate those bands, which I don't think we did copy. We weren't like a copycat band when we first started out, but I definitely feel like we've got more of our own identity now than we've ever had.
Well, I think it's just as you get more comfortable with each other, isn't it? Because we've all brought in our own thing more. Like, I've always played in fucking emo and post-hardcore bands, so that has come out a lot more. Yeah. You've maybe played in more hardcore metal bands.
Yeah. And then Ari
liked making crazy noises.
Yeah. It was funny with Ari, like, he when we were in the studio, it was only when we got to recording the album that we realised a lot of what he does. Because normally you just play in the song and the song sounds good and that's all that matters, but when you see it split down into its component parts, I was like, have you always done that? He's like, yeah.
Because that's bonkers.
Yeah, he's using chords from like Metronomy and Sparkle Horse and like stuff like that we never would have thought were in there, but it's in there, and like, yeah, it's
well, he's just too talented of a musician for me to comprehend sometimes. It's like I'm playing something very straight, 2 chords and the truth, 4/4, and then Ari, I'm like, Ari, is that even in time? And he's like, yeah,
it will be.
It's a 20.
Look back around a few times.
It's a 2914 polymeter. I think you'll find. I'm like, yeah, man, cool. It sounds pretty good.
Great, whatever. It sounds good. I don't get it, but it sounds good. So keep doing what you're doing. Like, but it is all those little. I think that this would be a far less interesting band if we were all just 4 guys who liked the same 10 bands. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we've always joked about that because, like, particularly me and Ari as the 2 guitarists, like, I have some strengths, but my strength's not really pushing myself.
No.
I would just play some nice chords with some nice vocals, all based around emotion. That's my thing.
You're a vibes guitarist and he's a technical
He wants to push himself.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm just like, these 4 chords sound really good, let me sing something really sad over it.
Then it works though.
But it's nice to have him say, let's make this as complicated as we can as well.
Yeah, and then the sweet spot is somewhere in
fantastic. So, obviously, very excited to see that. I believe you've got a debut album coming out later this year. I don't know how much you can say, but what can fans expect from the new album?
A few surprises, I think.
Oh yeah, lots of surprises.
You know, there's definitely the stuff that we did before. You know, there's blast beats and there's screaming and there's tremolo picking and stuff that you would expect, but there's also some more out there stuff. We've definitely incorporated a lot more like post-hardcore and screamo. Like we were all listening to a lot of like Birds in Row and Frail Body and bands like that that are maybe a little bit more on that sort of rattly kind of emotional hardcore kind of vibe. There's some stuff on there that's a lot softer than anything we've done before, but and that's such a cliche, isn't it? Oh, the heavy parts are heavier and the soft parts are softer, but it is true. Like, I think that the reason we released Defanged as a single is because it's probably the song on the album that's closest to our previous material.
Right.
So we're kind of almost treating it as a bit of a bridge to the new stuff.
I think the next single will be quite surprising.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, which comes out in September.
Oh,
The 6th, isn't it?
September the 6th, yeah. We've got 2 more singles between now and the album release date.
oh, incredible. Can't wait to hear it. Cool. So, I hate to bring up another band, but I have to ask, how was supporting Dune?
Oh, they're amazing, aren't they? Like, they're just insanely talented and also super lovely. There was originally going to be 3 bands on that lineup, and then the other band pulled out at the last minute, so we just kind of got to do a really long set and really like let ourselves kind of almost treat it like we would a headline show, and then to have Dune play after us, and yeah.
Wasn't that our first show as a 4-piece?
No, we'd done a few by then.
Had we?
Yeah, because we did the Cops tour before the June show.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. But they are, I think they're another band that are doing something that exists already, but very much doing their own thing with it. So even though they're much more a metal band, and we're not really, like our metal influences are bubbling under rather than overt, I think they're a band that have a similar ethos to us in terms of trying to carve a niche that might not otherwise exist.
Yeah, amazing. I think I caught Dune in Bristol recently, and they're fucking amazing. So I bet that would have been an incredible show.
It was fantastic. And they was at the Broodnow Social Club in Leeds, which is an amazing venue. Like, so cool.
Brilliant. So, are there any other bands that, if push came to shove, you would love to support one day?
I mean, in terms of like big bands, I think maybe someone like Balance and Composure, or Pianos Become the Teeth, or someone like that. Like in terms of international band.
Yeah,
Thrice would be like the big one, but that feels like we probably got a couple more steps before that.
probably about 30 more years.
Yeah, toiling away.
Playing tiny little venues.
In terms of like UK bands, I can't believe we haven't done a show with Ithaca yet.
Oh, that would be cool.
Because like I've known those guys for ages, and I would really love to play with them. I would have said Palm Reader, but obviously they called it a day recently. But I think any band that sort of is doing their own thing, even if it's something totally different to what we're doing, is a band that we can get on with.
I'd quite like to play some shows where, I mean, we probably have in the past, but where we are the heavy band.
Yeah.
Because I often feel like sometimes we play because we're obviously metal adjacent. We play with a lot of metal bands.
Yeah.
It'd be quite nice to maybe play some more emo bands, post-hardcore bands, where we are maybe we have blast beats, nobody else does.
Yeah, like a few years ago there was a tour with Ithaca supported a band called Big Brave, who are like a folk, not Big Brave, Big Thief, Big Brave. They were like a folk indie rock band anyway. So like the crowd were at first like, what the fuck is this? And then eventually sort of vibed into it. And I agree with you. Like we seem to be, we're the soft band on the heavy lineup, and I would love to be the heavy band on the soft lineup
nice.
for a change. Maybe someone like
Coldplay.
I mean, I would go.
Coldplay, Snow Patrol,
Keen.
Real talk, maybe like Manchester Orchestra.
Yeah.
Would be cool, or Foxing or someone like that would be really cool.
Because like I noticed like Holy Fawn supported. I was about to say they did that with Thrice. They were the heavy band on a tour with Thrice.
I would love to play with Holy Fawn as well.
I would love to play with Holy Fawn as well. That would be amazing.
Awesome. So, other than of course the new album, have you got any other big plans for this year? Any big shows you want to shout about?
Nothing this year. We've got one more show this year, haven't we?
One more show this year which hasn't been announced.
Yeah, it has.
It has?
Yes.
It's been announced.
It's been announced. Get on the socials.
We're playing with Gillian Carter while they're over for Damnation Fest. We're doing the Sheffield show with them.
Nice.
That so far is the only thing this year. But obviously, if something comes up, then we'll go for it. But the bulk of our album shows are going to be next year, realistically.
We might start writing some more, but it took us 4 years the last time, so...
Maybe we'll do it in half the time this time and release something else in 2026.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So we're nearly done, but I've been ending these interviews this weekend the same way every time, with some random quick-fire questions that have nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
Think as long or as short as you want. Fight it out if you want. You don't have to agree. So, first question, tea or coffee?
Tea.
I absolutely love coffee.
I absolutely hate coffee. Tea.
I live...
We are going to fight on the first question.
Yeah. Brilliant. I love it. Okay, cool. Traditional metal or modern metal?
Modern for me. I've never been big on I'm happy to hear like Metallica bangers or Iron Maiden or whatever, but a lot of that stuff really isn't of any interest to me. Yeah, what about you?
Well, it depends. I'm making this question probably too long now, but what's traditional to me is probably different to what's traditional to you. Like, I see Killswitch Engage as like an old school metal band because they're early 2000s, because I was born in 1995.
That makes me feel incredibly old.
I know, but then you might see an old school metal band as like Metallica. I mean, there's not that big of an age gap between us, but the 10 years between us probably does mean we think what's old metal is different.
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, my entry point was like, I grew up in the nu metal boom, so like Korn and Deftones and Slipknot and stuff like that. So I see classic as the stuff that came before that. Sure. So like, you big four thrash bands and Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and stuff like that, which has never really done a lot for me.
Yeah.
But I do love Killswitch Engage, so I think we can all agree on.
Yeah, I love
Killswitch. Yeah, for sure, fantastic. Mosh pit or standing at the barrier?
Depends on the band.
Yeah, it depends on the band.
If it's a hardcore show, mosh pit. If it's most other things, I'm alright.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I would say.
Yeah. I know you got in amongst it for Have Heart.
Have Heart.
Outbreak.
Yeah.
And I got in amongst it for Poison the Well and regretted it for about 2 weeks afterwards.
I got a bruise from Bloodstock.
I did wonder what that was from.
Amazing band. Rupture Farms gave me a big bruise. Film or TV show?
Film.
Film.
Yeah.
Favourite film?
Hot Fuzz.
Yes, amazing.
Oh, mine's really cliche emo kid. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I've never seen that.
Every 29-year-old emo kid probably says that stuff.
Amazing. Summer or winter?
Summer.
Winter.
Day or night?
Day.
Night.
Night. That goes perfectly. Past or future?
Future.
Future.
Yeah.
Cool. And final question. Favourite Hidden Mothers song?
Oh, that is tricky. I think for me it's The Grey, which is on the album, but nobody has heard it yet, but you will.
I don't know. Do I say the one where it's just me on my own with nobody else?
if you want.
Because I don't like anyone else. No, I'm joking.
Wow.
No, realistically, it's probably Violet Sun.
Yeah. Okay.
I do love you, by the way.
Amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've been Chris with The Razor's Edge. I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with future episodes by subscribing to our channels. For more information on this podcast, or for all the latest music news, reviews, interviews and more, head over to our website www.therazorsedge.rocks.